Welcome to the show. We've talked about running back gems. We talked about wide receiver gems over the past couple of days. Today, it gets exciting because we are talking about quarterback gems, and we've got the gem with us. His name is Tim, aka the Bald Man, the gem of all gems. What's happening, Tim?
I am a diamond in the rough, baby. Not much, man. How's it going?
Good, man. You need to center out a little bit. I think you're off a little bit to the right. People want to
Oh,
see.
we should have done this before we got on cam. What are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
but
here,
you got
man?
such a pretty face. People want. There
Oh,
you go. There
wow.
you go. Now we're happy. Listen, Tim, we got four quarterback gems here, and I want to talk about the quarterback landscape going into the season here because typically I always like to wait on quarterback, and I think you can do that again this year. There's so much value. I mean, so many guys are under valued, man. So many guys that are viable starters, and I'm ready to dive into quarterback talk, man. I'm excited. I really am, and fantasy's back. It's back.
So you're right. There are guys that you can wait on and still be pretty happy with them, but it's really hard to get. Like, it's hard to surpass a Josh Allen or I was about to say your guy, so I don't want to ruin it.
Pat,
But
Pat
let's put it
Mahomes.
this way: there's two really hot quarterbacks right now, and if you want them, you're going to pay dear.
Yes, you're gonna have to pay big dollar bills. So I'm ready to dive in, but we got an announcement here, and I only give stuff that's good value. Make sure you guys grab the 16 round draft solution. It's coming out. You can pre-order it now, but the first version's coming out in about 2 weeks. Release all my optimal players draft in each round, sleepers, breakouts, late round steals. That is the amazing solution. Use code SMASH to save and add the Sports Summit. We got Kyron Williams, we got Pat Fryer with Trey Benson, amazing people coming to Summit, including Tim the Bald Guy. We're revealing 5 big secrets never revealed before on how to smash your leagues for this year and a PS5 giveaway. So anyone that gets a ticket is automatically entered for a PS5. Secure the solution, secure the summit. It's going to be hype, man. August 21st, and it's a virtual summit. So you don't have to leave your home. Tim, from the comfort of your home, you get to hang out with the NFL athletes. I've never seen this before.
Yes, sir. And hang out with you and me
Yeah.
and Jimmy.
Yeah, that's very important. Forget the athletes. We're the most important ones anyway. So
They're a bunch of scrubs.
all right. So, guys, hit the thumbs up, turn on bell. We're going to dive right into this. Let's talk about the first quarterback gem here. Now, again, as we're going, I'm going to start feeding some fantasy football analysis and going over, kind of the landscape this year for quarterback. I guess you want to start first here, Tim, with your first quarterback, and I'll pull him
This
up here.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, man. My first pick, of course, is Josh Allen. And like I said, you're going to pay dear for him. So you're talking a mid-second, late second round pick. No matter what, you're talking a second round pick. But this guy has been gold. 400 points pretty much. Like give or take only a few points for each of the last 4 years. Last year even he killed it with 15 rushing touchdowns. So he doesn't necessarily need those rushing touchdowns though
Right.
to still be a 400 point quarterback. He's an amazing thrower. He's got a great arm. He can run, and we're not just talking about tush pushes here. We're talking about he will run to get those touchdowns. So yeah, he's lost a couple of his guys. He's lost Diggs, he's lost Davis. So there's a little bit of question marks at the receiver. Still don't think it matters. I think when you've got a quarterback the caliber of Josh Allen, he's going to make it happen no matter what.
I love them. And then we typically talk in PPR 12 person as kind of a general rule of thumb. It seems to be the most popular format in one quarterback league for sure. And I really, really love Keon Coleman. A lot of people saying, well, he's going to not get, as many receptions as we want. And that's very possible. Curtis Samuel, I'm not excited about. Khalil Shakir could be viable. Dalton Kincaid gets a boost up. But Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, he's got the pass catching running backs and James Cook. They've signed on Latavius Murray. They brought in Ray Davis, rookie Ray Davis. He's got options, man. James Cook catch the ball in the backfield. They've got some good options. Josh Allen is consistent. He's solid. But again, you're going to have to pay for him. Overall draft position overall is 20, which is expensive, based on a season where there's so much upside with a lot of these younger rookies coming in as you get with a backup could really excel. But you're really anchoring your team here, Tim, I feel, with Josh Allen, honestly.
I think so too. It is a high price to pay, but man, you can't talk much better than him.
Now we're going to get knocked. They're going to say in the comments, oh, well, Joe, it's so obvious he's a gem. Well, yeah, he's a gem, but it's the debate. It's the back and forth. It's disgusting. Would you? And to answer the question here, I don't care if he's a gem. Sometimes it can be a gem, but you can pass on him, and that's the big thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on Josh Allen this year. I like him. I'm all over Keon Coleman. Love him. Love him. I'm going to pass. I just don't want to pay too much for him. Second round, I'm looking for my running back or wide receiver. I got some good options there at wide receiver. Round 2, Marvin Harrison Jr. There's really good options. There's guys that could fall there. You might even need a running back. If you go wide receiver round 1, you might want to anchor a workhorse running back round 2. There's just too many temptations for me when I can get my guy, which we could roll right into my guy right away, a round or 2 later, okay? So I'm going to get right to him. I was going to pick the other guy first, my second guy, but I'm going to move up to this guy because he's my first guy. CJ Stroud, let's get right to him. Overall ADP 44. So now I'm getting him for more value. So if I can get this guy rounds 3 to 4, and I've been doing a bunch of mock drafts, generic ones, I'm getting him in round 4. Again, will he fall? Not necessarily. Maybe he gets picked up a little higher. Some people, when they see, quarterbacks come off, Tim, they'll end up going, quarterback. So he comes off round 3. But I love the upside. And we're talking a guy in his rookie year, finished 9th amongst quarterbacks, Tim, over 4,000 yards. I'd like to see his interceptions weren't bad, 5 interceptions, but his touchdowns going up from 23. Dude, this was his rookie year. Tank Dell was banged up. Nico Collins, who isn't a true wide receiver one, if he was, don't tell me he is, they would have brought somebody else. I mean, they wouldn't have brought somebody else in. They brought in Diggs. Dell's back. Dude, CJ Stroud really gets me excited this year. How are you feeling about Mr. CJ?
I pretty much agree with you. I am concerned. The interceptions don't concern me at all. 5 interceptions is not a big deal, especially he threw for 4,200, 4,100 yards. So
41 away.
5 interceptions, no big deal. What does bother me is the touchdowns were relatively low and the rushing. So he will rush when he has to, but it's not very often. And he only had 3 rushing touchdowns. Hopefully a little improvement there, a little better on the touchdown ratio, and he's gold, baby. I like him a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, no way but up for him. Like I said, they're building a team where they want to win the Super Bowl. They brought in veteran Joe Mixon. They've brought in Diggs. They've got wide receivers. They're doing everything in their power to make sure that this guy succeeds and the Texans succeed. And it's amazing how he turned this team around because they were such a crappy team. They had Davis Mills and all these other scrappy quarterbacks. And it's like he comes in rookie year, absolutely shines. Now, the problem with sophomore people is like quarterbacks particularly is like the sophomore slump, right? Is he the real deal? Sometimes people have anomaly years where they're like, oh, they had amazing years. And like, can they duplicate that year or was it a one-hit wonder, right? Like a song. And everything's pointing us to the fact that he's not a one-hit wonder. The talent is there. The opportunity is there. And man, oh man, can he improve on that 23-5 interception? I just feel warm and fuzzy about him. And I feel confident in having CJ Stroud as my quarterback 1 and then rolling the dice on the guy you're going to kind of mention next or the guy that I'm going to mention next, okay? And I want to talk about strategy, Tim. I know I'm rambling on more than you here and you're listening here.
Good. It's good.
Because it's vital information. This is very important for the listeners here. Always in a 1 quarterback league, have 2 quarterbacks. A 2 quarterback league, have 3 quarterbacks. Anchor your team with that ace quarterback, and you may have to spend earlier draft capital and then roll the dice. Quick example, a couple years ago, I don't know who my starter was. That's how irrelevant it became now. I can't remember who it was, but my backup was Pat Mahomes the year he broke out. So that's what you need to do. Anchor your team with an ace quarterback, get a good backup that's got the upside. And that goes right into, we're rolling right into your guy. Who's your next guy here, Tim?
I've talked about him twice already in 2 of our last 3 or 4 shows. So once again, people, I am riding the Jaden Daniels train. I can't talk enough about him. Yeah, I'm not a big Washington fan, but you don't have to be to see that everything is there for him. Like, this guy was amazing in college. He has a great arm. He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He rushed 135 times for 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. I think he's still going to kind of do a lot of that even in the NFL, even with a not so great team. I think that, and right now, what did we say? He's going like 9th or 10th round. Man, to me, that's a value. This is a great add as a second QB later on.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the veteran Austin Eckler there, Brian Robinson, and catch the ball in the backfield. So he's got them to rely on. He's got his feet to rely on. They've got Terry McLaurin. They've added Luke McCaffrey. They've got Dotson, who has kind of underperformed. Now, I will add this. A big sleeper is Ben Sinnott, tight end. They acquired him.
Ben Snot.
Yeah, Ben Sinnott. Okay.
Sinnott.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Commanders. Hold on, I got to get my stats right. This is why I have my little cheat sheet here. He was drafted in the 2nd round, top tight end prospect who actually is in a good situation here, I think, as a sleeper tight end. If we're giving way more value, I got to stop. Guys, get 16 round drafts. I'm not giving you guys any more secrets here. Ben Snot, not Snot. Ben Snot. So dude, I'm excited for the upside of Jane Daniels. Am I targeting him? No, because I'll tell you why. Because you can get safer quarterbacks as your backup quarterback, which I'm going to roll into my next guy here. We're going right
See,
into
well, you know what? That kind of surprises me with you because you're always a risk reward type of guy, and you're talking a ninth or 10th round pick, and you still don't think the value's there or that there's someone more safe or with a higher ceiling.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk. Well, not necessarily higher ceiling, but let's take a look at it. Okay, so quickly here. So Jaden Daniels is what quarterback? What quarterback is he? He's way down here. Like, look at this. Deshaun Watson, quarterback 22, right?
The only guy he's got to beat is Mariota. So to me, Jaden Daniels is an
Oh,
immediate starter.
I found him. Okay, so here we go. So he's 18th. I'm totally missing things. I'm having a dyslexic moment here.
So he's kind of middle of the pack right now.
Yeah, so at that point, I'd kind of feel more comfortable with my next guy, which I'll dive into why. But Justin Herbert, you've got Kirk Cousins there. You've got Aaron Rodgers coming off injury. Yeah, not as much upside. You got Deshaun Watson. You got Stafford. You got Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, who I don't really care about that much. So you have some other options there that feel safer. Even a guy like Russell Wilson, who may lose his job, is quarterback 29. So I don't know. There's just safer options as a backup. And yes, I like to roll the dice as my backup quarterback, more upside. I don't know. Maybe I don't like Washington. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But Jaden Daniels, tons of upside. He's got the weapons to succeed. They're giving him everything. So as a backup at best. So going into my other guy who's an absolute gem this year is Justin Herbert. Now let me explain why. People aren't as excited about Justin Herbert as much. And I don't blame them, Tim. Do you blame them after last year?
No, I mean, even I said, yeah, last year was a down year, but then you start looking at his stats for the last several years, even, and he's not that great.
Nah, I don't want to say that, man. He's 95 overall in fantasy now, around 7 to 8. Here's the thing: he had a down year last year. He was force feeding Keenan Allen. The offensive coordinator was, I don't know, it was just messed up. I don't know what was going on with that offense. I really don't. Finished 17th in PPR, sitting at QB 15, and I can still get this guy in round 8. They added, and it only sounds better if I have it with an accent. They added Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey has been added to the roster.
That wasn't a very good. You
No.
didn't do it very well.
Lad
Lad McConkey.
McConkey.
Crikey, he came out of nowhere, that guy.
You got the accent pretty good.
I love it.
I love it. Now I'm way off here. Lad McConkey is added, and this guy's a polished route runner from what we're hearing out of college. Again, we got to see how it translates into the NFL. Polished route runner. Some people comparing him to like a Cooper Kupp type player, which again, this guy came out a little more athletic looking than Cooper Kupp coming out of the draft. And they're also comparing him to like a Julian Edelman. There's that talk as well. I keep hearing that name kind of get floated around, which is good. He's going to have that reliable outlet receiver. I see high PPR numbers for Lad McConkey. They've also added Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice, 7th round pick there. And Lad was drafted in the, second round for Mr. McConkey, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, round two. And they also improved their O-line. Now, again, a lot of question marks here. And the big question mark, we were talking about this off the air, is like they have Gus Bus as their starting running back, J.K. Dobbins, who can't stay healthy. They drafted a rookie, Kamadi Vidal, which, again, I'm not expecting much out of him. It's like they didn't really address the running back position. I thought they would have went Blake Corum, someone with upside like that, dynamic, someone that could be a starter for them. But, dude, they're rolling with Gus Bus, who's not really known to be a pass-catching guy. I think I see him more near the goal line. I don't know if I like this, man, but I think they're going to air it out more, Tim. So if they air it out, more yardage for Herbert. It's going to like, does it help him or does it like hurt him? That's what we kind of got to decide, not having a good pass catching running back. I don't know. Tough one, right?
I think when you don't have a good pass catching running back, you better have a good tight end and you better utilize your tight end a lot. Because to me, tight ends are big bodied, tall, sure handed guys, man. So they're there all the time. I hate teams that do not utilize their tight end right.
Yeah, but a lot of these tight ends don't catch the ball as much. They're not like a Travis Kelce
but they should. Like most of them, when you look at their pass to catch ratio, it's normally very high compared to a typical wide receiver. Now, I know there's lots of reasons for it, but still, to me, when you're in trouble, when you need to get rid of a short pass, your tight ends are normally pretty solid.
And they don't have anyone great. Donald Parham, and he's caught the ball quite a few times. I remember he was going to him quite a bit last year. But Lad McConkey is very, very interesting. Some people hate that accent, but I don't care.
I don't care.
You did it better off air.
Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes under the pressure, I just don't do well. All right, so yeah, like Quentin Johnson, who couldn't catch the ball last year. Speaking of which, it rolls right into Quentin Johnson. Is he going to step up? That's something we got to look at. He was the wide receiver, first one off the board for the Chargers. First round pick last year, did nothing, didn't get the volume. He's been under a lot of, criticism for his lack of performance. But I think the big problem, Tim, was he just didn't get the volume. And, everyone keeps saying it sucks, and he dropped the ball a few times, and I get it. It did not look sexy, but could he bounce back? Nobody knows, Tim. You don't know. I don't know, right? We could just guess.
Yeah, and like we said, so Herbert had a down year all around everybody. So there's definitely room for improvement. I mean, normally Herbert throws for mid 4,000, even to the high 4, touching the low 5 even. Last year, what was he? He was under 4, I think, right?
Yeah,
Like
it was
just
his worst year ever, man.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was his worst year ever. I think it was 3,000 some odd yards. Let me pull that up.
Now you look at his touchdowns though, also, and first 2 years in the league were pretty good, and then dwindled in 22, even lower last year. So to me, there's a lot of room for improvement, and he's still a young guy. I think he's pretty dynamic. I think he'll get it going. Once again, though, not a rushing quarterback, doesn't put in the rushing touchdowns.
Right.
So that hurts too.
3,134 yards.
Oh my God. That is brutal.
20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, lowest in touchdowns in his career. He's going into his 5th season, lowest in yardage per his career. Passer rating, where's his passer rating? Lower. The year before, he was a little lower. He was 93.16. He was 93.22. So same type of garbage. But if any year he has to bounce back, this has to be the year. But again, I just don't like their running back situation right now. I do like Lad McConkey addition. I like Quentin Johnson taking a step back up this year. Brendan Rice is really fascinating there. I think that's just a fascinating pick, honestly.
You know what? It's kind of funny, but as soon as you said Brendan Rice and he's the son of Jerry Rice, I was like, hey, you know what? That makes me think of rice. What do you like to eat on your rice? I know this is weird, totally off topic, but I'll tell you. So my brother-in-law is from Chile, and it seems like a lot of Spanish people put mayonnaise with their rice. Have you ever done it?
I've tried it. Yeah, it's not. It's
okay.
good.
I used to bust his balls all the time for doing it, and then I tried it once, and I'm like, damn, you know what? It adds so much flavor because rice can be pretty bland.
Yeah. I just like sauce with it.
Just some soy sauce, yeah?
No, tomato sauce with whatever.
Oh, tomato sauce. See, I've never really heard or seen people do that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, okay. Middle Eastern dishes, you put like rice with tomato sauce and meat on there. It's really good.
Okay.
And green, what is it? Green beans with meat and rice. It's an entree we do. It's pretty good.
I love it, man.
We have lots of rice. All right, man. Speaking of rice, Brendan Rice again, 7th round pick. I don't know, man. I think they're just going to feed him. Is the Jerry Rice nepotism going to kick in, and is he going to force the hand of the offensive
match the daddy?
The offensive coordinator is going to force the hand. Feed my son Rice. Feed my son Rice. Get it? Get it?
There you go.
All right. That's it. So those are some quarterback gems, guys. For all the gems, all the sleepers, all the breakouts, all the late round steals, grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below. Use code SMASH to save. And Tim, that's pretty much it, man. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Anything else you want to add?
And subscribe to the channel, for crying out loud.
Yes. Subscribe.
Listen to what we say.
You can see Tim's face all the time. It's great.
You don't need to do that, but just get our opinions. That's good.
All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Fantasy Full Force. Subscribe, thumbs up. We'll talk soon. Hope you have a great day. We're out.
Have a good one.